Benson Boone is a rising star in pop music. He was performing at Coachella over the weekend, and he had the biggest song in the world last year with his single Beautiful Things. You've probably heard it. I have heard it. Always Against My Will. Everything I know about this man, I have learned against my will. I have not sought any of it out, and that has me thinking we have another industry plant on our hands. So, in case you don't recognize it by the title, the song goes, "Hey, wait, things that I love." Okay, that's what the song sounds like, and it's the most obnoxious Instagram reel audio you can possibly think of. I have not been able to escape it ever since it came out.
I assume that's the point.
Yes, the point is that it's an earworm, and I hate it. And Benson Boone himself isn't exactly a draw personality-wise. He seems quite annoying, actually. They just did a feature with him on the cover of Rolling Stone, and they're talking about this big year he's had in his career and, in retrospect, what he's going to do next. Benson Boone on Life After Beautiful Things. He's 22 years old. That one shocked me because he looks 32 years old.
He's got the haircut of a dude in his 30s who decided to get edgy for a bit.
Yeah. It's just so Zoomer of him to have the mustache mullet combo, which I already hate. But at 22, he had the biggest song in the world last year, and the future looks even brighter inside the heart and mind of a rising star. They call him a pop phenomenon on this cover of the magazine. And one thing they addressed in this interview was the idea that Benson Boone doesn't want to rely on his body to sell his shows.
Yeah.
Right, because everyone was talking about your body, Benson Boone. The most impact he's had on the culture is Mark Zuckerberg performing as Benson Boone for his wife. That's literally the only impact he's had so far. So here was his full quote. "I definitely remember there was a time where I would take my shirt off because I didn't know what else to do. After a lot of shows, you start to pick up on what people like and don't like, what girls like and don't like. There is an art to making anybody go crazy. I also don't want people to come to a show expecting me to just take my shirt off and have it be like a gun show. One, I don't have the guns for that. Two, that's just not what I'm about. I don't want to rely on my physical form to be the primary driver of my shows."
I kind of love that it's like reverse feminism.
Is this men railing against objectification?
Meninism.
This is meninism in action.
Meninism. Folks. Where he's like, I'm tired of being treated like a piece of meat.
It's so presumptuous because I don't really see anybody thirsting after Benson Boone to begin with.
Well, clearly he does.
So I guess he's saying that this was a huge draw for his shows and he decided to make it about the art.
10 years ago, this would have just been the Lumineers in 2013 and then Fun.
I saw one tweet that stuck with me. They said Benson Boone makes music for Israelis, and I was like, I don't know why, but that's so true.
I mean, he makes music for, like, look, if it was 10 years ago, it would have been fun while you were a millennial eating your burger on a cutting board.
Thistle and Thorn.
At Thistle and Thorn, eating your $40 cheeseburger. This is just the Gen Z version of $40 cheeseburger music.
We have a 20 from Value in You. We need one full episode or at least a segment where we can request Mary to do a song or a voice impression. Too good.
Hey, wait.
I try my best.
Hey, wait. You should have done Nirvana instead.
He literally copied Nirvana and got away with it. I don't know if he's like paying them royalties or what's going on there, but it was fully a copy and it's his biggest song. And now he's bought a house with the money and he's considered the next big thing. I just don't understand the appeal. It seems like nobody else does either. And it's funny that he would say this about not wanting to rely on his sizzling hot physique for his fame. You know, it's all about the art, right? But he's wearing outfits like this one, this stupid jumpsuit getup that he puts on at every show.
I mean, it looks like a mixture between your mom giving you pajamas that don't fit anymore and something Freddie Mercury would have worn.
He looks like Freddie Mercury from Wish.
That's what I thought.
He's Temu Freddie Mercury, but also like I thought Harry Styles was Temu Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And he's not even doing a good job at it.
Me and Olivia had a whole discussion over the weekend about there are no like normal male, straight white male pop stars anymore. Yeah. He's probably supposed to be the next closest thing, and this is as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like, nobody counts Harry Styles. Harry Styles, panders to the girls and the gays. Whereas back in the day, the male pop stars would have pandered to the women only.
Right. Well, if you look at this photo and you think Benson Boone might be homosexual, let's just dispel that rumor. I was under the impression that he was gay as well, but the truth is Benson Boone is a straight man in a relationship with a TikTok influencer and actress named Maggie Thurman, at least as of February last year. So he is a straight white male, and allegedly the next big thing in pop music. So there you have it. This is what straight men look like now.
Yeah.
And allegedly this is what women find hot.
Well, what did we talk about earlier? We talked about it was like Justin Bieber was the last straight white male pop star, and then it kind of shuffled into like the multi-genre stuff, like a Post Malone, and then, or like even The Weeknd in 2012. That's what I think of when I think of somebody, because they're considered pop, even though I would, say that The Weeknd is more R&B and hip hop.
I mean, even Morgan Wallen being a country star is still, to a degree, a pop star because of his popularity.
Then he would fall into this category because he makes music for country fuckboys.
But yeah, these Broadway girls, huh?
Yeah.
But like, if you go by the genre of pop and what that's supposed to sound like, the options are scant. I mean, I don't really know what place there is for a straight white male in that industry and in that space anymore. It's just girls and gays.
Well,
even if you're straight, you better appear to be gay.
What's the analogy that Tim always puts? He goes like, who's on the cover of a woman's magazine? A woman. Who's on the cover of a men's magazine? A woman.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
Right. Yeah, there just seem to be more marketable options.
No, I guess that's not even necessarily true, because like they have the things like Men's Health and stuff like that, but even that is like pandery.
Yeah. But we had One Direction, and we had Justin Bieber, and we had lots of others as well. We had Shawn Mendes back when he was more relevant, and we had
he doesn't count. He doesn't go to his concerts and he cancels them. I hate Shawn Mendes.
There were other like heartthrobs who were on the cover of like Tiger Beat and J14, and I actually read those magazines.
You were allowed to have those at home?
Yeah, what do you mean? They're for kids.
Okay.
Well, kind of. They're for teenagers.
They're for Satan,
whatever.
I'm assuming.
No, I was allowed to read all those magazines. It's analog. It's analog media. It's better than reading this stuff on the internet. But we don't have that anymore because the replacement for it is basically K-pop groups like BTS, and gay pop stars. That's it. Like, they're not encouraging young girls to feel any sort of draw toward a male pop star because the heterosexual moray is not in vogue anymore. But
I do agree with the chat, though, that he's wearing a codpiece of some sort.
Yeah, this is the look of a guy who is desperate for attention, and cheap attention at that. And now he has revealed his next album cover. His second album is going to be called American Heart, or at least that's the tentative name for it. Mm-hmm. And he pulled a Lana Del Rey. I've seen Lana Del Rey take photos like this draped in the American flag many times. But this is his rendition, shirtless, and also just covered in muck.
It would be cooler if it was Rocky. That's all I'm saying.
So no one likes this. Literally, the target demographic and everyone else disliked this.
I think he ordered a Palestinian flag, and this one showed up by accident.
One of them said, I thought he didn't want to be known for his body, and this is the cover. Another one said, I feel like he smells like shit. It's probably because he looks like he smeared himself in shit before taking the photo. Another one said, American-themed album during a Trump presidency.
Shocking.
And then this one was the most blatant. The gays weren't having his shit, so he knew he had to pander to the Republicans next.
Wait, didn't Beyonce have the American flag in her Cowboy Carter? Am I misremembering that?
No, and yeah, you're right. In the Cowboy Carter cover, she's on this horse, and
was there an
she
American
has
flag?
an American flag in her hand, but it's just off center. But yeah, she wasn't accused of pandering to Republicans. He's being accused of pandering to Republicans because, well, he's a straight white male, and he's associating himself with blue jeans and the American flag. And another one said, it's actually a talent to be half naked constantly and still have absolutely zero sex appeal. Like, everyone just hated this. Everyone said, thanks, I hate it. Throw it straight in the bin. We don't need this. He's adding nothing to pop music. His brand is irrelevant. His vocals are obnoxious. And he's just kind of a blank slate for whatever a record label wants to invent him as.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.